Hi guys, welcome. Thank you for joining me this morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are. So IEF instructional video. Today we're going to be talking about some plank work. So plank, I'm sure you're very familiar with what that is, so I'll be quick with this one, just explain some important form points. And I'm going to talk to you about 3 different types of planks. So you've got your straight arm plank, your forearm plank, and your side plank. So I'll start with your forearm plank. So when you take your forearm plank, you want your elbows to be underneath your shoulders, and then you're extending your legs back from there, forming a straight line from your head to your heels. So don't allow the lower back to sway. Don't bridge your hips up too much. This takes the activation out of the core. Of course, if you need a rest during however long your hold, I prefer you to do this than to do this, and then try and struggle up from there to find your position again. So ever need a break during your hold, bridge the hips up a touch, and then come back into that position when you're ready to. So pulling the navel towards the spine, pulling the waistline in, one long line in the body, and that is your forearm plank. So you would traditionally hold a plank maybe 30 seconds, 60 seconds, whatever it is that you want to do. There's a ton of plank challenges on Pinterest and places like that where, 30-day period you end up holding your plank for 5 bajillion minutes or whatever. So feel free to engage in one of those. They're fantastic. Exercise works every muscle in your body, front and back. So body weight bearing exercise, very, very good for that. So that is your plank, forearm. So straight arm plank, you're taking your hands, wrists are underneath your shoulders, extending the legs back from there, and same thing, keeping soft bend in the elbows, try not to lock the elbows out, soft bend in the elbows, keep the shoulders away from the ears, one on line, head to heels, putting the waistline in, navel to spine, and that is your straight arm plank. So with your side plank, you can do this on the forearm or on the straight arm. Straight arm I would only recommend for more advanced people that have been exercising for a long time, because it requires a lot of stability through your shoulder girdle, and that's a joint that can be thrown out really easily. So I want to make sure that you're doing this correctly and you have your form down before you attempt the straight arm version. I will show it to you, but let's start with the side plank on the forearm. So again, the elbows underneath the shoulder. You're taking a side stance position. If your feet are stacked, that's going to make it a little bit more difficult because you've got a smaller base. So if you need to stagger your feet, feel free to do that. And I would recommend that until you can find the stability through your core. So you're going to lift up, so your weight is distributed just between your forearm here and your feet at the bottom. You can extend the top arm into that T position. You can have the hand on the hip, wherever you need to be. Just pull up through that bottom oblique. You're really going to feel this specifically through the bottom oblique, keeping a straight line in the body as with the other variations. That is your side plank. And again, you can do that, you will do that on the other side. So you'd hold for the same amount of time on each side. Let me show you that straight arm version. Again, really please be careful with your positioning in this and make sure you have enough stability to hold this without much movement or wobbling around before you take this variation. But making sure that wrist stays on top of the shoulder, push it forward, underneath the shoulder I should say. Again, feet stacked or feet staggered, finding the position, pulling up through that bottom oblique, hip stack, shoulder stack, and that is your straight arm side plank variation. And that's that. So give those plank options a try. Really good weight bearing exercises, like I said. They're going to work the core and fire up through the core a lot, so give them a go. I would recommend starting with a 30-second hold and working your way up, holding for, I would say, 60 seconds almost every time you work out is a really good place to be. Just building some core stability there. So that is your plank. Thank you. Enjoy the rest of your day. If you have any comments, questions, let me know and I'll clarify anything for you. But until then, I'll see you next time. Bye guys.